श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। श्रीपरमात्मने नमः। अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता अथ प्रथमोऽध्यायः। अर्जुनविषादयोगः। धृतराष्ट्र उवाच धर्मक्षेत्रे कुरुक्षेत्रे समवेतायुयुत्सवः। मामकाः पाण्डवाश्चैव किमकुर्वत सञ्जय। सञ्जय उवाच दृष्ट्वा तु पाण्डवानीकं व्यूढं दुर्योधनस्तदा आचार्यमुपसङ्गम्य राजा वचनमब्रवीत्। पश्यैतां पाण्डुपुत्राणामाचार्यमगतीं च मूं व्यूढां द्रुपदपुत्रेण तव शिष्येण धीमता। अत्र शूरा महेश्वासा भीमार्जुनसमायुधि। युयुधानो विराटश्च द्रुपदश्च महारथः। धृष्टकेतुश्चेकितानः काशीराजश्च वीर्यवान्। पुरुजित्कुन्तिभोजश्च शैब्यश्च नरपुङ्गवः। युधामन्युश्च विक्रान्त उत्तमौजाश्च वीर्यवान्। सौभद्रो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्व एव महारथाः। अस्माकं तु विशिष्टाय तान्निबोधद्विजोत्तम। नायका मम सैन्यस्य संज्ञार्थं तान् ब्रवीमि। भवान् भीष्मश्च कर्णश्च कृपश्च समितिञ्जयः। अश्वत्थामा विकर्णश्च सौमदत्तिस्तथैव च। अन्ये च बहवः शूरा मदर्थे त्यक्तजीविताः। नानाशस्त्रप्रहरणाः सर्वे युद्धविशारदाः। अपर्याप्तं तदस्माकं बलं भीष्माभिरक्षितम्। पर्याप्तं त्विदमेतेषां बलं भीमाभिरक्षितम्। अयनेषु च सर्वेषु यथा भागमवस्थिताः। भीष्ममेवाभिरक्षन्तु भवन्तः सर्व एव हि। तस्य सञ्जनयन् हर्षं कुरु वृद्धः पितामहः। सिंहनादं विनद्योच्चैः शङ्खं दध्मौ प्रतापवान्। ततः शङ्खाश्च भैर्यश्च पणवानकगोमुखाः। सहसैवाभ्यहन्यन्त सशब्दस्तु मुलोऽभवत्। ततः श्वेतैर्हयैर्युक्ते महति स्यन्दने स्थितौ। माधवः पाण्डवश्चैव दिव्यौ शङ्खौ प्रदध्मतुः। पाञ्चजन्यं हृषीकेशो देवदत्तं धनञ्जयः। पौण्ड्रं दध्मौ महाशङ्खं भीमकर्मावृकोदरः। अनन्तविजयं राजा कुन्तीपुत्रो युधिष्ठिरः। नकुलः सह देवश्च सुघोषमणिपुष्पकौ। काश्यश्च परमेश्वासः शिखण्डी च महारथः। धृष्टद्युम्नो विराटश्च सात्यकिश्चापराजितः। द्रुपदो द्रौपदेयाश्च सर्वशः पृथिवीपते। सौभद्रश्च महाबाहुः शङ्खान् दद्मुः पृथक् पृथक्। सघोषोधार्तराष्ट्राणां हृदयानि व्यदारयत्। नभश्च पृथिवीं चैव तुमुलोऽभ्यनुनादयन्। अथ व्यवस्थितान् दृष्ट्वा धार्तराष्ट्रान् कपिध्वजः। प्रवृत्ते शस्त्रसम्पाते धनुरुद्यम्य पाण्डवः। हृषीकेशं तदा वाक्यम् इदमाह महीपते। अर्जुन उवाच सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये रथं स्थापय मेच्युत। यावदेतान् निरीक्षेऽहं योद्धुकामानवस्थितान्। कैर्मया सह योद्धव्यम् अस्मिन् रणसमुद्यमे। योत्स्यमानानवेक्षेऽहं य एतेऽत्र समागताः। धार्तराष्ट्रस्य दुर्बुद्धेर्युद्धे प्रियचिकीर्षवः। Sanjaya uvacha एवमुक्तो ऋषिकेशो गुडाकेशेन भारत सेनयोरुभयोर्मध्ये स्थापयित्वा रथोत्तमम् भीष्मद्रोणप्रमुखतः सर्वेषां च महीक्षिताम् उवाच पार्थ पश्यैतान् समवेतान् कुरूनिति तत्र पश्यत् स्थितान् पार्थः पितृरथ पितामहान् आचार्यान् मातुलान् भ्रातॄन् पुत्रान् पौत्रान् सखींस्तथा श्वशुरान् सुहृदश्चैव.
Okay, good morning. So a few things to say. So we are already practically full house. You can sit in the front. Please leave a space for the singing team. We need a small space here to walk across, and the person who is doing the projection is sitting there, so he needs a space to move there. We need this passage empty for volunteers to go in and out, and you can also take seats there. There is a whole projection screen on that side, so you can see Swamiji. We have 2 ladies restrooms downstairs and 1 men's upstairs. So you have for men's restrooms you have to take the staircase and go up. And the other thing is, please silence your cell phones, or even switch it off. Yes, and water is available outside. We will begin shortly.
सेनयोरुभयोरपि तान् समीक्ष्य स कौन्तेयः सर्वान् बन्धूनवस्थितान् कृपया परयाविष्टो विषीदन्निदमब्रवीत्. अर्जुन उवाच दृष्ट्वेमं स्वजनं कृष्ण युयुत्सुं समुपस्थितम् सीदन्ति मम गात्राणि मुखं च परिशुष्यति वेपथुश्च शरीरे मे रोमहर्षश्च जायते गाण्डीवं संसते हस्तात् त्वक्चैव परिदह्यते न च शक्नोम्यवस्थातुं भ्रमतीव च मे मनः निमित्तानि च पश्यामि विपरीतानि केशव न च श्रेयोनुपश्यामि हत्वा स्वजनमाहवे न काङ्क्षे विजयं कृष्ण न च राज्यं सुखानि च किं नो राज्येन गोविन्द किं भोगैर्जीवितेन वा येषामर्थे काङ्क्षितं नो राज्यं भोगाः सुखानि च त इमेव स्थिता युद्धे प्राणान् त्यक्त्वा धनानि च आचार्याः पितरः पुत्रास्तथैव च पितामहाः मातुलाः श्वशुराः पौत्राः शालाः सम्बन्धिनस्तथा एतान् न हन्तुमिच्छामि घ्नतोऽपि मधुसूदन अपि त्रैलोक्यराज्यस्य हेतोः किं नु मही कृते निहत्य धार्तराष्ट्रान्नः का प्रीतिः स्याज्जनार्दन पापमेवाश्रयेदस्मान् हत्वैतानाततायिनः तस्मान्नार्हा वयं हन्तुं धार्तराष्ट्रान् स्वबान्धवान् स्वजनं हि कथं हत्वा सुखिनः स्याम माधव यद्यप्येतेन पश्यन्ति लोभोपहतचेतसः कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं मित्रद्रोहे च पातकम् कथं न ज्ञेयमस्माभिः पापादस्मान् निवर्तितुम् कुलक्षयकृतं दोषं प्रपश्यद्भिर्जनार्दन कुलक्षये प्रणश्यन्ति कुलधर्माः सनातनाः धर्मे नष्टे कुलं कृत्स्नम् अधर्मोऽभिभवत्युत अधर्माभिभवात् कृष्ण प्रदुष्यन्ति कुलस्त्रियः स्त्रीषु दुष्टासु वार्ष्णेय जायते वर्णसङ्करः सङ्करो नरकायैव कुलघ्नानां कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो ह्येषां लुप्तपिण्डोदकक्रियाः दोषैरेतैः कुलघ्नानां वर्णसङ्करकारकैः उत्साद्यन्ते जातिधर्माः कुलधर्माश्च शाश्वताः उत्सन्नकुलधर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवतीत्यनुशुश्रुम अहो बत महत्पापं कर्तुं व्यवसिता वयम् यद्राज्यसुखलोभेन हन्तुं स्वजनमुद्यताः यदि मामप्रतीकारम् अशस्त्रं शस्त्रपाणयः धार्तराष्ट्रारणे हन्युस्तन्मे क्षेमतरं भवेत् सञ्जय उवाच एवमुक्त्वार्जुनः सङ्ख्ये रथोपस्थ उपाविशत् विसृज्य सशरं चापं शोकसंविघ्नमानसः ॐ तत्सदिति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे अर्जुनविषादयोगो नाम प्रथमोऽध्यायः। अथ द्वितीयोऽध्यायः साङ्ख्ययोगः। सञ्जय उवाच तं तथा कृपयाविष्टम् अश्रुपूर्णकुलेक्षणम् विषीदन्तमिदं वाक्यम् उवाच मधुसूदनः। श्रीभगवानुवाच कुतस्त्वाकश्मलमिदं विषमे समुपस्थितम् अनार्यजुष्टमस्वर्ग्यम् अकीर्तिकरमर्जुन क्लैब्यम् आस्मगमः पार्थ नैतत्त्वय्युपपद्यते क्षुद्रं हृदय दौर्बल्यं त्यक्त्वोत्तिष्ठ परन्तप। अर्जुन उवाच कथं भीष्ममहं सङ्ख्ये द्रोणं च मधुसूदन ईशुभिः प्रतियोत्स्यामि पूजार्हा परिसूदन गुरून् हत्वा हि महानुभावान् श्रेयो भोक्तुं भैक्ष्यमपीह लोके हत्वार्थकामास्तु गुरूनिहैव भुञ्जीय भोगान् रुधिरप्रदिग्धान् न चैतद्विद्मः कतरन्नो गरीयो यद्वा जयेम यदि वा नो जयेयुः यानेव हत्वा न जिजीविषामः तेव स्थिताः प्रमुखे धार्तराष्ट्राः कार्पण्यदोषोपहतः स्वभावः पृच्छामि त्वां धर्मसम्मूढचेताः यच्छ्रेयस्यान्निश्चितं ब्रूहि तन्मे शिष्यस्तेऽहं शाधि मां त्वां प्रपन्नम् न हि प्रपश्यामि ममापनु।
Good morning to you all. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hare Om. Sahana Bhavatu Sahanu Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karvavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Asato ma Sadgamaya Tamaso ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya Aviravirmayidhi. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. Good morning to you all. So we have gathered here on the very auspicious day. It is the birthday of Swami Abhidananda Ji Maharaj, a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna. And it is a retreat. In a retreat, one withdraws from day-to-day activities and tries to contemplate the goal of life. So here you have come for a particular purpose, and that is why first to calming down the mind. And then after calming down the mind, then we have to think what we are here in this world for. So for this purpose we will have some inspiring and invoking talk. As you know, Swami Sarvapriyananda ji is here and he is a wonderful speaker. So we'll hear from him. So mentally we should be ready. It will be a feast, no doubt about it. But before that there should be appetite. So we have to create that appetite. If we are not hungry, then whatever food served may not help us. So how to create that appetite? To create appetite is the prayer. Prayer to God, prayer to our higher being, prayer to our self, our own self. Atmaiva hi atmana bandhu, atmaiva ripuratmana. We are our own enemy. We are our own friend. Therefore, many attractions are there in this world. One has to withdraw from those attractions and trying to find out what is our real nature. What is this God? Who has created this whole universe? And also including us. So all these questions should be prominent in our mind. So this will be a wonderful session. But I'll request, before we proceed further, I'll request all the young people to sit on the ground, because as we know now, already the hall is full and maybe more people will come, more devotees will come. And this should be our attitude, that we should offer the best for others. If we keep the best for ourselves, then it is selfishness. Selflessness is divine. That will strengthen our character. So therefore, we should sacrifice for others. And we have some mats also and carpet you can see. Those who can sit on the ground, they are most welcome, especially young people. And those who are close to this center, for them also, it is better to offer our guest the better seat. So hope this will help to accommodate more people, more devotees. But main thing is prayerfulness. When we pray, we open the floodgate of divinity that is already within us. Generally, we grab the best for us, but that weakens us. So those who can sit on the ground and those who are young, they may take a seat. We'll see a video of Ramakrishna Math and Mission. Ramakrishna Math and Mission has completed 125 years of its establishment.
स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्म स्वरूपिणे अवतार वरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः.
May 1st, 2022. Like every other day, the golden sun, rising from behind the holy waters of the Ganges, touches the crest of the Sri Ramakrishna temple at Belur Mott. The flowing Ganges, bathed in the rays of the sun, has been witness to the 125-year journey of Ramakrishna Mission. As the mission reaches a historic milestone, we remember the prophetic words of Swami Vivekananda. The spiritual impact that has come here to Belur Mott will last 1500 years. Sri Ramakrishna had affectionately told Naren that he was ready to go anywhere with his favorite disciple. I will go and live wherever it will be your pleasure to take me. On February 27, 1898, Swamiji carried the holy ashes of his master from Nilambar Mukherjee's garden house to the site chosen for the establishment of Belur Mott. The land was located on the western bank of the Ganges, diagonally opposite the Dakshineshwar temple. On December 9, 1898, the Mott and Mission were formally shifted to this land. Today, the worldwide activities of the Ramakrishna Mott and Mission, spread over 24 countries, are monitored from its headquarters at Belur Mott. The 256 branches that include 119 Mott centers and 137 mission centers spread the gospel of Sri Ramakrishna. The 191 branches within India, spread over 27 states and union territories, are known for their several service projects.
Sir, request. our chanting group, Veda parties, to start their chanting. This is invocation of the divine, and through various natural principles. After this, we must have a little introduction to our Acharya. Though we don't give much importance to individuality, but it is always better to know about our Acharya. So today Swami Sarvapriyananda, as you know, he has come all the way from New York. He has been appointed as the Minister of the Spiritual Leader of the Vedanta Society of New York and assumed his duties there on January 6, 2017. Prior to this, he served as Assistant Minister of the Vedanta Society of Southern California for 13 months, beginning on December 3, 2015. Initiated by revered Swami Bhuteshananji Maharaj, Swami Sarvapriyananda joined the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission in 1994 and received sannyasa in 2004. Before being posted to the Holy Center, Swami served as an Acharya, teacher of the Monastic Probationers Training Center at Belur Math. He has served the Ramakrishna Math and Ramakrishna Mission in various capacities, including being the Vice Principal of the Devghar Vidyapit, Principal of the Shikshana Mandira, that means the teaching institution at Belur Math, and also served as first registrar of the Vivekananda University at Belur Math. He was a Nagral Fellow for 2019 and 20 at Harvard Divinity School. So he is a teacher all along, and especially spiritual matters. So today we are very fortunate that he has agreed to come here, and on my behalf, on behalf of the Vedanta Society, and also on your behalf, I welcome him, and we all are ready to get the inspiration that he will provide. Thank you. Yes, go ahead.
Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya. Can you hear me? No. This is off maybe? Is this off? No, now can you hear me? Yes. Yeah. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityurma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead us from the unreal to the real, lead us from darkness unto light, lead us from death to immortality. Om, peace, peace, peace. revered Swami Chandrasekharanji Maharaj, dear Swami Devi Shanandaji, devotees, friends who have all gathered here this morning, namaskar and good morning to everybody. I am delighted to be with all of you this morning for this one-day retreat on Vedanta. Before we start, I would just like to mention that this is an auspicious day. This is the birthday of Swami Abhedanandaji. Isn't that so much? It's Abhedanandaji's birthday? Yes. So Swami Abhedanandaji was a disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, a direct disciple of Sri Ramakrishna, who came here after Swami Vivekananda to the United States and did tremendous work, pioneering work in spreading Vedanta here in the United States and across the Western world. 25 years, yeah. The sound, yeah. So he was here for more than 20 years, nearly 25 years actually. And most of the time he was at the Vedanta Society of New York. Tremendous work. After Vivekananda, there were two other direct disciples who came to New York, Swami Sarvapriyananda and Swami Turiyanandaji, for a short while, few months. But it was really Abhedanandaji who, not only in the New York Vedanta Society, he traveled through the length and breadth of America. I think he was the first Swami to visit Mexico, the first Swami to visit Alaska, so from the north to the south. And he crossed the Atlantic 17 times. We have that on record, in ships in those days, to work in England and in Europe to spread the message of Vedanta there. In fact, there is an interesting story of how once he was going to come back, I think, from England to New York, and he was going to set sail in a ship, and he had this vision of Sri Ramakrishna, a voice telling him not to go on the ship. He thought it was just his imagination. But that message came more than once, and he went and cancelled the ticket. And the next day there was a newspaper, the big headlines. The Lusitania was sunk by a German U-boat in a torpedo. And so that would have been the end of not only Lusitania but also Abhedanandaji, but he didn't go. And that's the reason why the United States entered the First World War, if you remember. Then in the United States itself, in New York, we have records of 600 people turning up for his talks on Sundays. The Carnegie Hall, can you imagine hiring the Carnegie Hall for Vedanta talks? So remarkable. In Boston, he had links with some of the leading intellects of America. William James, whom Swami Vivekananda also knew. There's a very interesting record of how Swami Abhedananda and William James, they are at a dinner, and there's a long, fierce debate on non-duality and duality. William James was not convinced. So on one side there was Abhedanandaji, and he was supported by Charles Langman, who was the first head of the Sanskrit department at Harvard. Josiah Royce, one of the greatest American philosophers. So they all ganged up on poor William James, but William James was not convinced. So this is his birthday. He was here up to 1921. In 21 he went back to India. So very auspicious day for discussing Vedanta. The text we have taken up for discussing Vedanta is a very simple, sweet hymn, which Pratha Smarana Stotra, the hymn of remembrance, contemplation of Brahman, contemplation of non-duality at dawn. When you wake up, this is the first thing that you remember. It's sort of no-brainer for me because it's 3 verses, we have 3 sessions. The first verse is the most important, and then 2 more follow-up verses, which we will do in 3 sessions. Each session will have Q&A, but the first session will have a short Q&A, second session will have a short Q&A, the third session an extensive Q&A. So you can, if you don't get to ask your questions now, you can ask your questions afterwards. There is a microphone there, I think, to my left, and you can. And during Q&A, I'll invite you to come up and ask your question. Keep it precise, if possible, limited to what we discussed in this discussion of this verse, of this hymn. Or at most a general question about Vedanta itself, but not about anything and everything in the world. Yeah. So some of you can at least see the text which is put up there, and yeah, we can do without the special effects. What we will do is first chant the hymn together. I'll chant and you can follow me, and then we will discuss it. Pratasmarami hiri sansfurat atmatattvam. Pratasmarami hiri sansfurat atmatattvam. Satchit sukham paramahamsa gatim turiyam. Satchit sukham paramahamsa gatim turiyam. Yat swapna jagar sushuptam aveiti nityam. Yat swapna jagar sushuptam aveiti nityam. Tad brahma nishkalamaham na cha bhuta sangha. Tad brahma nishkalamaham na cha bhuta sangha. Pratar bhajami manasa vachasamagam. Pratar bhajami manasa vachasamagam. Vacho vibhanti nikhilayadanugrahena. Vacho vibhanti nikhilayadanugrahena. Yanneti neti vachanai nigamavocham. Yanneti neti vachanai nigamavocham. Tam deva devam ajamachyutamahuragriyam. Tam deva devam ajamachyutamahuragriyam. Pratarnamami tamasah paramarkavarnam. Pratarnamami tamasah paramarkavarnam. Purnam sanatanapadam purushottamakhyam. Purnam sanatanapadam purushottamakhyam. Yasmin nidam jagadasheshasheshamurtau. Yasmin nidam jagadasheshasheshamurtau. Rajvam bhujangamiva pratibhasitam vai. Bhujangamiva pratibhasitam vai. Now if you cannot follow the Sanskrit itself, no problem, but we'll have translations for everything, so is there a problem? So I was saying this was a no-brainer for me for one more reason. It's something that is part of my daily routine for many, many years. So I chant this in the morning, mentally, sort of mumble it out sometimes. And it's become instinctive for me. So it's the moment I come to waking, this starts automatically. Not that it's a very deep reflection, sometimes just mechanical, but it's become a habit. The beauty of these simple little hymns is that it packs in entirety, the central teaching of Vedanta into these few verses. So everything is here, whatever we need really, all the material for understanding and putting Vedanta into practice. So here goes. Pratasmarami hiri sansfurat atmatattvam. Let me give you the English translation of the first verse and then we will go into it. At dawn, I recollect the reality. I remember the reality which is the self, shining brilliantly in the heart, existence, consciousness, bliss. The goal of the Paramahamsa sannyasis, the fourth, Turiya is the fourth. We'll understand all this as we go along. That which illumines or knows the states of waking, dreaming and deep sleep. That Brahman which is partless, undivided, that I am. Not this bundle of elements, not this bundle of matter. All right. Pratasmarami. At dawn, I remember or I recollect. So it's always good to start one's day with a prayer or something holy or sacred. And it's a practice for many, many people. They start with a prayer or the remembrance of God or chanting or yoga or something like that, which connects them, which is a spiritual practice. It's an excellent way to begin the day, and early in the day. So early in the morning, prata it should be at dawn. Of course, dawn is different for different people. So generally, well before sunrise. In Brahma Muhurta in India, it's considered to be 4 a.m. So the idea is that there are these times in the day, in a 24-hour cycle, where nature is calm, the body is calm, the mind has a disposition to be calm. And these are very good times for spiritual practice. When the night transitions into dawn, when the day transitions into afternoon and the noon, when the evening comes, and then again they say at midnight. So there are these times throughout the cycle which are good for spiritual practice. Dawn is especially is wonderful. So prata smarami. Smarami literally means I remember. Now, I remember, there are deeper and deeper meanings of this. 3 meanings I'll distinguish. One is simple, straightforward. What I do every day in the morning, which many people do. These 3 verses, if we have memorized them, we bring them to memory. So, early morning, we start. Prata smarami, hrivi samspura, atma tattvam. Just simply chanting this. So this is the first and preliminary meaning of I remember, I recollect. But a deeper, second layer of meaning of this I remember is to bring to mind this knowledge that I am this witness of the dreaming, waking, deep sleep, dreaming and waking. This knowledge which we are going to get now, cultivate now, this is an understanding about ourselves. What's our instinctive understanding about ourselves as we wake up? Oh, so I am this guy who's lying on the bed, and right now I was asleep and I was dreaming, but basically I am this body. And this is a different understanding. Different understanding, as we shall see, is this: I am this awareness which was experiencing dreams just now. And before that, maybe I have the same awareness which was experiencing a blank called deep sleep. And right now I am the same awareness, untouched, unchanged, the same shining awareness experiencing this waking world. Here I am in the bed. So the shift is from a body with consciousness to consciousness with a body. Who am I? I am this guy lying down in the bed. Body. And yes, we don't deny that we are conscious, we are aware. But the body is something that has awareness. Rather, from that instinctive understanding, we are being forced to change to a new way of looking at it. That I am the awareness which experienced the deep sleep, which experienced the dream, which is now experiencing the waking. But I am this underlying awareness. So bring this knowledge to the fore of our conscious mind. This is the second meaning of smarami. Not just the words of the verse. Bring the knowledge which is implied, which we will gather today. And the third and deepest meaning is the reality itself. That you are witness, existence, consciousness, which is continuously available to us. So what I mean by that is this. This glass with water, I'm looking at it now. Wouldn't it be strange to say that I'm remembering this glass? You say, no, Swami, that's a peculiar way of speaking. Why don't you say that you are seeing this glass? I remember this glass full of nice, cool water early in the morning. No, you're not remembering a glass full of water. You're seeing a glass full of water. There's a big difference between remembering something and seeing a glass. Or the second meaning was understanding, keep bringing to mind the understanding that I am the witness consciousness. And there is an understanding. When I say a glass full of water, you get a concept in your mind. Even that is not meant. That directly the glass is present here. The water is present here. So you are experiencing it now. I am experiencing it now. Exactly like that. When you say prata smarami, in the morning, I attend to. I am aware of awareness. I am aware of awareness. This is the deepest meaning. So 3 meanings of smarami. Ridi samspurat. Ridi, in the word, Sanskrit word, Ridi means in the heart. In the heart. The meaning of in the heart is, Shankaracharya gives the meaning, buddhau, in the intellect, in the understanding, in the capacity for understanding. In my understanding. So again, three meanings can be there. One meaning is in the heart means manasi, in the mind. You bring to mind, using your power of memory, you bring to mind. Or the second meaning would be buddhau in Sanskrit, in the intellect, in the capacity for understanding. And the third meaning of heart I am taking from Ramana Maharshi. For Ramana Maharshi, heart was the Atman, the self. When he would say the heart, he meant Atman, the self, existence, consciousness, bliss, our real nature. So in the heart, straight away the meaning is in the mind. The second deeper meaning is in the intellect, in the capacity to understand, more precise. Even deeper meaning, which I am sort of bringing in, I don't think that was intended, is in awareness, in the self, in Atman, awareness of awareness. Atmanyeva, Atmana. So in the words of Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita, by the Atman, in the Atman. So by the Atman would mean using the mind. The Atman means the real self. Where do you realize it? In yourself. So that is this meaning of Ridi, in the heart. Samspurat, ever shining. Atma Tattvam. This nature, this self, the reality of the self is ever shining. It is of the nature, so often light is used as an example. All the time, this self, what we are seeking, what we are trying to understand, is shining continuously as I, all the time. Not that we are always thinking I. That would be very self-involved, Most of the time we are not thinking I. If you inquire within, am I here? Immediately you feel I am here. That sense of I, that's the ego actually, the sense of I which we have. And that we don't keep saying I, we don't repeat it to ourselves, but the sense is always there. It's like, and when you look inside, you feel the presence of the self. You feel that I am here. It's a lot like, a refrigerator has a bulb, a light inside. So when you open the door, it's shining. When you close the door, is it shining? You never know. If you want to see whether it's shining, you open the door, it's still shining. But you close it, you don't know. So the sense of I, we are generally not concerned with it. When you look inside, you always find I am here. But that's still the ego. And the real nature of the I is veiled by the ego. It's still, it's beyond that. As Shankaracharya sings in his Nirvana Shatakam, Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. I, the real I am not the mind, I am not the intellect, I am not the ego, I am not the memory. So I am not the ego, the one which says I am sitting here. I am not even that, I am the witness of the ego. That one is always shining. The Keno Upanishad, the Kathopanishad and Mundaka Upanishad put it in the most inspiring poetic terms. Tameva bhantam anubhati sarvam tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. That shining, everything else shines. By its light, everything here is revealed. So that shining means I, the consciousness shining, everything here shines. So by the light of the self, the consciousness, the mind is lit up. Then the mind feels conscious. By the mind being lit up, our senses are lit up. So we feel, when we see, hear, smell, taste, touch, all of these feel like conscious experiences. They are conscious experiences. Where did that consciousness come from? Not in the eyes or the ears or the nose or the tongue. It comes borrowed from the mind. Where does the mind get its consciousness from? From you, the consciousness, the self. So you shining, everything shines. Means you shining, the mind shines. And then the mind shining, the senses shine. And the mind and the senses shining. Shining means lit up by consciousness. The world is lit up. We have this experience all the time. Tasya bhasa sarvamidam vibhati. By its light, by your light, everything here is lit up. It's a light is used as a metaphor. I mean, doesn't mean physical light, but physical light is a very good way of trying to understand what consciousness does. It gives us, it illumines, it reveals, it gives us first-person experience. Samspurat, always shining forth. What is always shining forth? Atma Tattvam, the real I. Atma means the self. So this is very important. Atman, this word, it means first of all the self, it means the reality of everything. So Atman, my Atman would mean my reality, who I am, who I really am. But then everything has an Atman. So all this entire physical world which we experience, the mental world which we experienced, the self of all of that. And the teaching of Advaita Vedanta is the self of this entire universe and your own self, they are one reality. The teaching of Tattvamasi, that thou art, you are that, it's that one underlying reality where the entire universe is one. That is Atma Tattva. Tattva, the Sanskrit word Tattva means reality. Anaropitam Tattva. That which is not something which is not superimposed upon. So what does that mean? So the classic example of the snake and the rope. The snake, when you mistake the rope for a snake, the snake is aropitam, superimposed. Superimposed is a fancy word for taking something to be what it is not. Taking a rope to be a snake. It's not a snake, but we sometimes mistake it to be a snake. The sky is blue, bright and blue up there. It looks like that, but it's not literally blue. You won't find a literally blue color in the sky. Space doesn't have a color. Or water in a mirage, in a desert. There's no water there, but it looks like that. That's aropitam, superimposed. Really, what is it? It's a dry desert. It's colorless space. It's a rope, not a snake. The real nature of the self is what we are going to talk about, which we call to our attention early in the morning. When we wake up, we call to our attention the real nature of the self. The answer to the question, who am I? What am I? That's the first thing I call to my awakened mind in the morning. Atma Tattvam. Basically, I am Brahman. This is what I will call early in the morning, the first thing in the morning. What is this Atma Tattvam? What's it like? If I say I am the body, I understand what it's like. I understand. And then there is science and medicine and all which will tell me what this body is. I have a clear understanding. I also have an understanding of myself as a mind, as a person. So I have these thoughts and memories and emotions. So if Vedanta tells me I am not the body, I am not the mind, I am this Atman, then I have a right to ask, what is this Atman? What's it made of? Because I understand the body, I understand the mind. And when I say I am this person, I mean I am the combination of this body and mind. But the Atman, it sounds very philosophical, very abstract, very abstruse. What is it? Satchid Sukham. It exists. It is aware, consciousness. We are just talking about the sense of awareness or consciousness. And it is fulfillment, it is bliss. Existence, consciousness, bliss. That's the nature of the Atman. That's what Vedanta is pointing out, that you are that. Remember, the Atman is not something that exists. So the table is something that exists. Thoughts are something that exists. The room is something that exists. Harry Potter also, in some sense, exists in a fictional universe. So there is existence of different sorts. The number one, numbers, they also exist in a certain sense. So this is called things which exist. But it's not that the Atman is a thing which exists. So it doesn't exist. No. It is rather existence itself. It is that which comes first and then existing things. And a good example is gold and ornaments, clay and pots. So clay is not another kind of pot. Gold is not another kind of ornament. If all we know are the various kinds of ornaments in a shop, and we get told that the reality is gold, and we think, oh, that must be an amazing ornament. Which one is gold? So no. It's not an ornament. Oh, so it's nothing then, because all we know are ornaments. It's an idea, it's an abstraction. When we talk about Vedanta, sometimes people misunderstand. People ask this question. So it's some kind of philosophical concept, the Atman, Brahman, pure consciousness, pure being. Is it like an abstraction? These are real. What is meant is these are real. And that Atman, Brahman, pure being, Sat, is an abstraction. We say, no, that's not an abstraction. It's like looking at golden ornaments and saying that gold is an abstraction. No, gold is the reality. Compared to gold, the ornaments are abstractions. One thing here, important thing to note, is that why does Atman, Brahman, why does that feel like an abstraction? When I say pure being, existence, that feels like an abstraction. And this feels real, right? This feels real. The reason is that right now we are experiencing that reality, Atman or Brahman. See, the misunderstanding is often this. When Vedanta says Brahman is real and the world is an appearance, we immediately think, oh, Brahman, there is something real called Brahman, and this is the word. I know this is the word, and this is supposed to be an appearance. This is supposed to be false. But remember carefully, what we call word is Brahman plus the names and forms what we call the word. See, when we say that the snake is false, the rope is real. What we mean by the snake is the rope which we are mistaking as a snake. What we are looking at and calling it a snake, that is the rope, that is the reality. Where is the reality? Right there where you are seeing a snake. It just isn't a snake. The reality is the rope and we are mistaking it as a snake. The reality is here as Brahman. This is real. You've got it. You are experiencing God all the time, but you are experiencing it as the word. You don't know its God nature. You are, when you experience yourself, I am here. This is who I am. I am experiencing God. But I am experiencing it as this guy Sarvapriyananda. This is what Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta is pointing out. In Shankaracharya uses the term atasmin tad buddhi, seeing something which is not there. What is there is one underlying divinity. And that is appearing in all these forms. If we saw that, if we understood that, perfect. There would be no problem at all. But we don't understand that. What we see, understand, and what we take this world to be, there are all these people and these houses and cars and sky and earth. This is what we take it to be. When we look at ourselves, we don't see one existence, consciousness, place appearing or being experienced as a body and a mind. No, we take it as it's a body and a mind, that's it. We don't have any appreciation of the underlying reality. So the underlying reality is Sat Chit Sukham, existence, consciousness, bliss. This also points to our common experience. All of us have the experience of I am. And I shine. I shine in the sense, not that you're radioactive or something. I shine in the sense that I am aware. I shine in the sense I know my own existence. I feel my thoughts and emotions. I feel my pain and suffering. I feel my enjoyment. I feel my desires. And I also experience you. I can see you, hear, smell, taste, touch this world. This is called I shine. But before I shine, I am. I exist. Nobody can deny that. That's the only thing that cannot be doubted. Those who have heard me many times will know that this is where he trots out Descartes. The French philosopher, mathematician, Descartes. We all read about, we all have studied Cartesian coordinates in school. So he was a mathematician, but he was a great philosopher also. And about 300 years ago, he took up this project. What can we be certain about? That is, what can be doubted and what cannot be doubted. To build knowledge on certain foundations. So he thought, what can be doubted? Everything can be doubted. Doubted means, is it real or is it an appearance? Is it some reality or is it a dream? For example, this seems to be real to us, but you can doubt it. It could be a dream. It could be a Matrix movie. It could be a simulation. There was a paper, I think Nick Bostrom or somebody who wrote a paper that the world we are living in could be a simulation. Like a computer game, you simulate a world. So this could be part of a computer game. And that guy showed, I haven't read the original paper, just read the summary. He showed if you use statistics, probability, then the chances are that this world we are experiencing is actually a simulation. It's not the real world. Very science fiction kind of speculation. So he says, in this huge universe, there will be thousands and thousands of civilizations, advanced civilizations, many times more advanced than us. And those civilizations will be running powerful computer simulations. And the number of simulations will be many times more than the real universe. How many real universes do we have? One. But how many simulated universes? Billions and billions. So what's the probability the universe you are experiencing is real? Is that one real universe or one of the billions of simulated universes? The enormous probability is that you're living in a simulation. So some alien kid is playing a video game, and when his mom calls him to lunch, enough, stop playing, come to lunch. And he just switches off the game and that's it for us. Finish your call. It's just a theory. But the mathematics, Elon Musk said he believes it, that we live in. So the only thing that cannot be doubted, he can doubt everything. He didn't live, Descartes did not live in the world of Matrix movie or Twitter, X or whatever, but he imagined a thought experiment. He called it a malign demon. Suppose there is a demon which is projecting all my experiences to my mind. Whatever I'm seeing is being projected. Whatever I hear, smell, taste, touch is being projected. It's not really a world out there. It's an entirely a projection. Suppose you think like that. Then you doubt everything. Is there anything that you can be certain of? Yes. He said there is one thing that we cannot doubt, Descartes said. That my own existence, I cannot doubt it. Why not? To doubt it, I must be there to doubt it. Cogito ergo sum. I think, therefore I am. I cannot, suppose I say, is the world real? Even if I ask, am I real? But I'm still asking. That much I cannot doubt. I can clearly see that. So I exist as a thinker of thoughts, as the experiencer of thoughts. My own existence cannot be doubted. This indubitable existence is called Sat. And not only this is an indubitable existence, it's an aware existence. All the time we are aware. What we are aware of keeps changing. But awareness, we are experiencing life. So it is Chit, this is the shining, the Chit. This is called Chit or pure consciousness. Ananda or Sukha, what is called Sukha or bliss here. How is it bliss? I will not go into the arguments. It will take time. We have to go ahead. But I'll let you into a deep understanding of Advaita Vedanta. What Advaita Vedanta does is, it takes this indubitable sense of existence awareness. I am and I am aware. This is indubitable. Nobody doubts it. Even the animals, lower animals also won't doubt it. And they cannot doubt. And they cannot even think I am, but they feel it. The sense of existence is there. And sense of awareness is there. So this I am and I am aware. Only problem is, this I am and I am aware, we all feel it, but it doesn't seem to be a big deal to us. Because it seems to be a very limited existence and awareness. Because I'm sure, I am, that's true, but what's the big deal? I am only because I was born on such and such date a few years ago, and this I am will disappear very soon when this body dies. So we feel my existence is, no doubt I exist, but this existence is very limited. It began at such and such time, it will die at some time. Not only that, this existence is plagued. Then I am aware, yes I am aware, but that's the problem. Because I am aware of suffering, I am aware of pain, I am aware of unfulfilled desires, or I am aware of fulfilled desires and after that no fulfillment at all, no satisfaction at all. Okay, silly joke time. Sometimes it awakens people more than Vedanta. There's no satisfaction. As somebody was joking that. So what do you call a factory where you make very average products? Satisfactory. Yeah. So my awareness is not very satisfactory. My awareness is full of all sorts of problems. How is that any good to me? In fact, many people to solve their problems will try to dampen their awareness or get rid of their awareness. They fall asleep. They often in Vedanta class. And then they drink themselves into a stupor. They take drugs. All of it is not to become more aware, to become less aware. You say, Swami, some drugs make you more aware. Yes, but more aware of a different reality. They want to hallucinate. They don't want to stay in this reality. So awareness is not, we don't see it entirely as good. We see it as a problem also. Now what Vedanta does is this. It shows you that your existence and your awareness, you the existence and you the awareness, you are unlimited existence and unlimited awareness. What it shows you is that this existence is not born at such and such time, not born with the birth of the body. It will not die with the death of the body. It will show you that. Vedanta will show us that. This awareness is unlimited. It doesn't increase and decrease with waking and dreaming. It does not come and go with birth and death. It is not affected by the vicissitudes of life. What awareness experiences does not affect awareness. No more than what the light illumines everything, but the light is not affected by what it illumines. So it illumines a cream tablecloth. Does the light become cream colored? No. If it illumines a patch of mud, does the light become muddy? No. If it illumines a fragrant flower, does the light become fragrant? No. Light illumines and reveals, it's not affected by what it illumines. Similarly, Vedanta will show us, you are this one awareness. Because of you, the whole gamut of life, this vicissitudes, ups and downs of life, this magnificent display is there, like a magic display. But like the magician is not affected by his magic. Similarly, you, the cosmic magician, you are not affected by this cosmic display in awareness. Vedanta will show us that. To put it briefly, Vedanta will show us the unlimited nature of existence awareness. This unlimited nature of existence awareness is bliss. Let me repeat that. Sat Chit Sukham. Sat, unlimited existence. Chit, unlimited awareness. Sukham, unlimited happiness. Another word, bliss. What I am saying now is, your existence is unlimited, your nature is unlimited existence awareness, is bliss. Why? That doesn't compute. Bliss is a cookie. Bliss is, beautiful scenery, the Pacific Ocean, and a nice bed when you are tired. That's bliss. How is pure existence, consciousness, how is it bliss, limitlessness? See, all our efforts at getting happiness in this world are because we feel incomplete, small. Apurna, small, not complete. And we feel we will be complete. I will be happy if I add to myself money. If I add to myself, if I'm sick, I add good health to myself. If I add to myself entertainment in the form of Netflix, I will be complete. Netflix will give you infinite television shows. Then you will become infinite. So we feel that I will be complete by adding something to myself. Or if I feel, illness or people don't like me, how to make myself healthy, how to make myself liked. All of these are ways of making myself complete. Because I do not feel complete. That's why I go out into the world with a begging bowl seeking completion. And that never works. Never works. The world cannot give you what you seek because the world is finite. Mundaka Upanishad says, Nastya Krita Kritena. The infinite cannot be attained by the finite. The world, no matter how much money you get, how many Facebook likes you get, you will not be fulfilled. However, if it can be shown that you are infinite already, then that's fulfillment. The Chandogya Upanishad says, Nalpe Sukham Asti. There is no happiness in the limited, in the small. Bhumaiva Sukham. Yo vai bhuma tat sukham. The vast alone is happiness. Our happiness is in the vast, in the unlimited. So what Vedanta will do is show you that you, the I am, I exist. You, the I am aware, I shine. This existence shining is limitless. The definition of Brahman in Taittiriya Upanishad is Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma. Satyam, existence, I am. The existence, Jnanam, consciousness, limitlessness. Anantam means limitless. So limitless existence consciousness is Brahman. But what is this existence? It's this I am. What is this consciousness? It's this I am aware. So when you are talking about limitless existence consciousness, you are talking about yourself. The Upanishad is talking about you. What is this Satchidananda? How do we know ourselves as this limitless existence consciousness? The method is given. This Paramamsa Gatim Turyam, I'll come back to it later. The method is given in the third line. Yat swapna jagar sushuptam aveiti nityam. So let me do a little bit of, try to show it in a diagram. Is this microphone on? Can you hear me? You can hear me? Yeah, good. I think you can reach that volume of that now. All right. You can hear me, right? Yes. Oh, you can hear me. The question is, who where is this question? Atma Tattvam, the real nature of the Atman. Atman, I, the real I. Tattva means the reality about myself. That's what we are trying to discover. Now it says, I am that consciousness which ever illumines, which ever knows waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Swapna Jaga, Swapna means dreaming, Jaga means waking, and Sushupti, deep sleep. So let's look at these experiences, three experiences of waking, dreaming, and deep sleep. Before I go into this, notice one interesting thing about this method. It is continuously pointing towards our always available experience. See, one way of being religious is to believe in something. So that's the faith-based. In America, religion itself is called faith. The word for religion is faith. But what we are looking at here now is not faith. We're trying to grasp something that is a lived experience all the time, and everybody has this experience. Another kind of spirituality, which is very popular, which was introduced really into this country in a big way by Swami Vivekananda himself, is this inquiry into God through mystical experiences. Through you meditate in this way and you have an extraordinary experience of God. Sri Ramakrishna had endless mystical experience. Somebody called him a super mystic. Endless mystical experiences. Only problem with that is, unless you have it also yourself, it doesn't do much good to you. You can believe in it. Alright, so he has those mystical experiences. And the promise is, as Sri Ramakrishna said, Vivekananda said, you too can have it. You practice in this way and you will get it. But until we get it, if you are a little skeptical, until we get it, what do you do with it? You still have to believe in it. How did most people react to Sri Ramakrishna? Indeed, to generally all mystics. They thought he was crazy. Instead of seeing the Divine Mother, the mad Brahmin priest of Dakshineshwar. Not just Sri Ramakrishna. Mystics throughout the ages in every religion. The general reception is, before people start revering them and recognize their extraordinariness, most people think that these guys are crazy. Whereas, what we were doing right now, notice, what are we inquiring into? We are not inquiring into a possible existence of God somewhere out there in seventh heaven. No. We are not even trying to get some kind of extraordinary mystical experience. We are inquiring into Atma Tattva, the reality about yourself. You, right now, who we are, reality about ourselves. And the method we will use is also something which is continuously available to us. What's the method? Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Who doesn't wake? You're all awake, hopefully. Who doesn't dream? And who doesn't experience deep sleep? All of us. I was reading somewhere, even ants dream. Yes. So, scientists say that we have two kinds of sleep, REM sleep and non-REM sleep. REM sleep is rapid eye movement sleep. It seems that when we are sleeping, sometimes our eyeballs move rapidly under our eyelids. And at that time, you wake up the subject. So there are sleep labs actually. So you can, they're quite cruel there. You're having a nice dream and suddenly wake you up. Tell us, what was going on? All these guys in lab coats, you think is this a nightmare or what? So they found that REM sleep, when a subject is undergoing REM sleep, rapid eye movement sleep, they are dreaming. feel that they were dreaming at that time. And non-REM sleep is deep sleep. If you wake them up, this is very cruel to wake somebody up from deep sleep. They'll say that it was complete blank. And ants, they found that they have something called RAM sleep, rapid antenna movement sleep. So the ants, you can see that they're walking and they suddenly stop, they freeze, the antenna vibrating. So they're going into a little ant dream. So every living being has these experiences, waking dreams. So that's the beauty of this path, the Advaita path. It's talking about you and only you. And it's trying to demonstrate your limitlessness and thereby solve your problem at a deep existential level. And how is it doing that? By referring to something that we already have. You don't have to put in decades of spiritual practice to finally experience waking, dreaming and deep sleep. No, you experience it every day. That's enough. If we experience waking, dreaming, deep sleep every day, and if that's all that's necessary, how come we are not already enlightened? I'm here, and I wake, I dream, I sleep, so I should be enlightened according to this method. It's not just waking, dreaming, deep sleep, it's an inquiry into waking, dreaming, deep sleep. An inquiry, in Sanskrit, vichar. How do you do this inquiry? Watch. This is what we are going to do now. So, there is the waker and the waking world. The dreamer and dreams. Deep sleeper and the, what we call the seed state or potential seed state or potential world. These are the three states. Waker, what I mean by that? Waker is the waking world. Dreamer and dreams. Deep sleep and the seed state. Dreams or dream world. You can say dream world. That won't be long. That's relevant. The Southwest is famous for this quirky sense of humor. So once I was on this flight and the air hostess was making announcements, welcome abroad, welcome aboard the flight. And this flight will take us 15 hours and 25 minutes. Everybody said, what was that? And she said, you weren't listening, now you are listening. Alright. Now, this, in Sanskrit, I just quickly mention Sanskrit words for those who are familiar with this kind of analysis. The waker is called Vishwa, and the waking world is called Jagrat Prapancha, the waking world. This is the waking world. Who is the waker? You, each of us, we are waker. Then when we fall asleep, you are the dreamer, you experience a dream world of dreams. In Sanskrit, this is called Taijasa, the dreamer is called Taijasa, and the dream world is called Swapna Prapancha. You are there in the dream itself. You don't think it's a dream. It looks like, if you feel it's just like any other waking experience. And there is a world, there are people, there are things happening. That's the dream state. And then there's a deep sleeper. In deep sleep, it's not audible. Take this sleep, it is working, but it's a little bit low. But it's okay. You can all hear me, right? At the back also? Yeah. And the deep sleeper is called Pragya, and this is Sushupti, or Sushupti Prapancha. Deep sleep word is a misnomer because there is no word there. It's a potential state or a seed state. Why am I calling it potential seed state? Because everything that we have in the waking and dreaming at a personal level is there still, like a hibernation, like a computer which doesn't seem to be doing anything, but the moment you touch the mouse or something, it suddenly comes alive. So everything is there, but nothing is happening as such. So it's a potential state. Another set of terms used is this. It's called avastha. interesting thing is that all this is known to us. First of all, let's acknowledge that this is a fact. None of this is new. Vedanta basically points to our experience and then uses this experience, inquiry into it, to show us something that we didn't know. To show us something extraordinary that we didn't know. What is it that we didn't know? Vedanta says, notice that you are the one who is the waker and you are experiencing this waking world. Then you fall asleep, this waking world disappears, and you still continue. Experiencing doesn't stop. You still continue experiencing it. You later wake up and call it a dream. But there is a world which you experience and you are there in that world also. You call it a dream after you wake up. So experiencing continues. And then after some time, everything shuts off. No waking, no waker, no waker's world, no dreamer, no dream world. It's a blank. The distinction between subject and object is temporarily erased. That blankness is also a kind of experience. It's like you are still awareness, but there is nothing to experience. That's the state of deep sleep. That can be argued now. There is a lot of argument about this. There are philosophers who say that no, there is nothing, there is no consciousness there. Materialists will say there is no consciousness there. I remember a debate between a neuroscientist and a Sankhya philosopher. The Sankhya philosopher was also American, Larson, in the Institute of Culture. So he was one of the Harold Larson. Gerald Larson. He has got wonderful books on Sankhya, classical Sankhya. That's one of his books. So he asked a question to the neuroscientist. Doctor, according to modern medicine, brain science, is there consciousness in deep sleep? And the doctor said no. The way we understand consciousness, it was at that time. Understanding has changed now. This was more than 20 years ago. The way we understand consciousness, there is no consciousness in deep sleep. And Professor Larson said, according to the Sankhyan and the Vedantic understanding, there is only consciousness in deep sleep. In deep sleep, there is nothing to be conscious about. Whatever the objects are erased, but you are there. It's like a little bit like, right now, you're looking at me, right? You're experiencing this stage and looking at me. You are there. Now just close your eyes for a moment. Now you cannot obviously see me. I can't see you. But I'm quite clear that I am here. I haven't disappeared. Alright, you can gently open your eyes. Now imagine, if you close your eyes and your ears and your senses of taste and smell, all of that, touch. So you're not seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, anything at all. But you would still be there. You think, oh, it's so peaceful. Now suppose you are not thinking anything also. You're not remembering anything. Suppose you don't remember. Are you still there? You still be there. Just your memory is not working. Suppose you are not thinking, no thoughts, no emotions. Emotions are also neutral. You are still there. So if the mind shuts down, senses shut down, you are still there. So that underlying consciousness, that would be something like deep sleep state. Where every faculty is shut down, so there is no object, nothing to experience, but you are still there. So this is what Advaita Vedanta, what this verse is trying to tell us. That there is something which experiences waker, dreamer, and deep sleeper. This is the Atman. And this is called Turiyam. It says here, Paramahamsagati Turiyam. Turiyam literally means fourth, number 4. This is 4. So where does that 4 come from? Weren't you talking about one reality, non-dual, no two, but now where is the 4? Where is the third one? You count like this. Waker is 1. Right now. You are roll number 1. When you fall asleep, you are experiencing a dream, that's 2. And in deep sleep, you just project, nobody can count it, but you just say that will be 3. I, the one who am experiencing this retreat in this wonderful ashram, I am number 1. When I fall asleep and I dream, I'll be number 2. And when everything stops. Seeing, not the word, no dreams, just deep sleep, blank. That is number 3. And the one which experiences 1, 2 and 3 is number 4. Why is it new or different? Because, here's the point. Right now, if you ask yourself seriously, honestly, answer to this question, who am I? You'll identify this one, the waiter. I am this guy, here, standing on this stage, and giving a talk on Vedanta. I'm quite clear about it. And in my dreams, I was that person, walking down a beautiful path and looking at the lake and the sky. I was that person. And in deep sleep, there was blankness, nothing. That's who I am. And all the time we identify ourselves with this, or with this, or with this. Vedanta tells us you are neither this, not this, not this. You are the witness of all 3. You are that which is experiencing itself as a waker and experiencing the waking world. In the dream state, subtle, you will be the dreamer experiencing a dream world. And in deep sleep, the deep sleeper experiencing nothing, blank, sea state. But who is the one common to all of them? Why can't we stop there? Why do you have to say common? Because these 3 are different from each other. Here's where I bring out the Janaka story. This is a lovely story which I heard many, many years ago in the Himalayas, where a month, one day in the afternoon, we were walking and he told this very nice long story. Let me stop here. Sit down, talk. So the story goes like this. The Emperor Janaka one day went to bed, and some of you have heard it already, but still, this is the right time to retell the story. Emperor Janaka went to bed one day, and suddenly he was awakened by the soldiers, saying, Sir, we have been invaded. Wake up, you have to go and fight. And that's happening right now, right? Yesterday, Israel was invaded by terrorists. So we have to go and fight. So Janaka Raja jumps out of, the emperor jumps out of bed and says, get my armor and my bow and arrow, call out the soldiers. They go out and have a terrible fight. And poor Janaka loses the battle. He's captured and brought before the enemy. And the enemy king says, well, now your kingdom is mine, and you are exiled from this kingdom. So what can poor Janaka do? He stumbles, wounded, weary, desperate, through the streets of his erstwhile capital. Nobody is willing to help him because they're all scared of the new tyrant. And they say that so he walks and finally leaves his kingdom and goes to the neighboring kingdom. Tired, hungry, and then he finds somewhere like a soup kitchen. People are giving food. So he goes in the line, and when it's his turn, there's a bowl. With trembling hands, he takes up the bowl to receive whatever little food is left. And that slop, takes it to his mouth, and there's a kite hovering above, which swoops down and knocks the bowl from his hands, and the bowl goes rolling in the dust. And Janaka can't take it anymore. That's the last straw. So he falls down, wailing in Hindi and in Sanskrit. So the monk told me, ha ha kar karte. That's to translate it to English. English it means just the opposite. Ha ha in English means laughing, but ha ha kar, ha in Sanskrit or Hindi, even Bengali, would mean alas, weeping, wailing. So just the opposite meaning. And he sits up on his bed. He looks around. And at that moment, we would have thought, oh, that was a nightmare, maybe something I ate. Everything is fine. But he's a philosopher. Janaka is a great philosopher, a king and a philosopher. So he thinks, was that real or is this real? The guard comes running and says, Majesty, did you call? He said, was that real or is this real? In Hindi, the monk told me, wo sach ya ye sach. Wo sach ya ye sach. Was that real or is this real? Then the queen comes along. What's wrong with you, old man, now? Was that real or is this real? Then she calls the doctor, the royal doctor. The royal doctor examines his pulse and says, Majesty, is something wrong? Is it hurting? Where is it hurting? Tell me. Was that real or is this real? And this goes on. Everybody is bewildered. Next day in the morning, the great sage Ashtavakra is in town, and he hears the news that the emperor has gone off his rocker. In those days, even before X, Twitter, the news is to spread very fast. So Ashtavakra goes to the court to see his friend, the emperor. Now, of course, he is all this sage is all knowing, so he understands what has happened. He asks the emperor, "Sir, how are you, Your Highness, how are you today?" And the emperor, who's sitting in court, surrounded by all his ministers and officers, his queen and all of that, he says, "Is this real or is that real?" And then Ashtavakra says, Highness, that time when you were rolling in the dust," so he knows everything about the emperor's dream. "You're rolling in the dust with having lost your kingdom and in despair. At that time, was this power, your generals, your court, your army, your kingdom, was it there?" The emperor said, "No." "And now, when you're sitting here, is that defeat, that humiliation, that pain, that suffering, that all of those problems, are they here now?" The emperor said, "No." "Then, O emperor, neither that is real nor this is real. Na wo sach, na ye sach." When the emperor thinks, he's horrified. He says, "There is nothing true. Is everything false?" Then the sage says, "But emperor, in the midst of that horror, that defeat, that humiliation, this is not true. We just agreed it's not true. But were you there? Did you experience it or not?" He said, "Yeah, I experienced it. And now, in the midst of this court, which I am telling you, it's not real either. All this display of power and pomp. But you are experiencing it right now, isn't it?" He says, "Yes, I am experiencing it now. In that case, O emperor, neither this is true nor that is true, but you are the truth. Na ye sach, na wo sach, tum hi sach." Now let's look at this diagram. We normally think, and this is true, and this what I'm experiencing is the truth. This is real, and this is who I am. And yes, I have memories of some dreams, and I was in that dream too, but I dismissed the whole thing as an appearance. And deep sleep, I have, okay, it was blankness. This is what I consider to be the reality. But what Ashtavakra showed the emperor was that waking world and that waker is not true. This waking world and this waker, this court you are sitting in, and you, the emperor, this is not true because this was not there in the dream. In the dream, you were the defeated person, and the world was that dust you were rolling in, and the hunger, and all the problems, and the defeat. That was the reality. But both are contradicted. This is not here, and this was not there. And yet you cannot dismiss that. You cannot deny the fact that you experience this, and you experience this, and in a certain fashion, you also experience deep sleep. Then who or what is the common reality in all the waking and the waking world, dreamer and dream world, deep sleep and deep sleep world? The one radiance in which all of these are appearing and disappearing. That you are. So that's what he's telling the emperor. You are the truth. This truth is not the waker, not the dreamer. The waker is the emperor sitting in the court with all his power and glory and pomp. The dreamer was the emperor rolling in the dust and defeated and humiliated. And the one, so neither is real, but both are appearing in one consciousness. Because you cannot deny your experience. All those things appear to you. And yet you are not trapped there. You are free of the waker in the waking world. You are free of the dreamer in the dream world. One saying I like very much is, now you will see the meaning of this, is that the person will never attain freedom, but you will attain freedom from the person. Who is the person? The waker. This guy. This one is tied to the waking world, will never attain freedom from it. But you are free of this waker and the waking world. Even while the waker and the waking world are appearing. And you must admit that in dreams, you had a dream, had a nightmare of a dream, you experienced this, but after waking up, you admit, yes, I did experience it, but even while experiencing it, it was alright. Because it was a dream, it was a nightmare. It was terrible, but it was still alright because it was not real. In the same way, this is also experience, but it's also not real. It's an appearance. Appearing in what to what? In this to it. Another big thing, very big point that is being made here. So these are the three levels: gross, subtle, causal. Causal is the seed state, subtle is the dream world, the mental world, and gross is the physical world experienced through senses. waker, appearing as the waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. But just like in the dream world, you, this Atman, this consciousness, you appeared as the dreamer and the world of dreams. Similarly, the claim here in Vedanta is, here, right now in this world, you are experiencing yourself as the waker and the waking world. This witness consciousness, this fourth, is not limited to illuminating waker, dreamer, deep sleeper. It's also appearing as the object. This is the subject. In Sanskrit, I'm going to write the English terms. Subject, object. In Sanskrit, pramata and prameya. Pramata, knower, prameya, the known. So there are three pairs of subject and object. One pair is the gross or physical, one pair is the subtle, one pair is the causal. All three are appearing in you, the consciousness. Appearing in you, the consciousness means you, the consciousness alone, are all of this. Just like in the dream world, you were everything that was experienced in the dream world. And you were the dreamer, the person in the dream world also. Therefore, there was nothing in the dream world, no person, no place, no event, which was not you, the dreaming mind. You were all of that. Or you appeared as all of that. You're not really transformed into people. And you're with me? Yeah. That's just what the dream world is like. Similarly, what the claim here is that you, the one consciousness, you are right now this experiencing waker, the one who, this person who is a knower right now, and whatever you know, all of that is also you, the consciousness. So this is the fourth is the one reality which appears as the three. I'll repeat that. The fourth is the reality. You are the reality which appear as these three pairs. What are the pairs? Subject and object pairs. The gross or the waking subject and object pair. You are the subject, this is your object. You in the dream, the subject and object pair. And in deep sleep, the subject and object will merge into one blankness, but still, just for symmetry, we are putting it this way. And just for the sake of completion, though the verse doesn't mention it, in the Mandukya Upanishad, from which all of this is drawn, this is regarded as the meaning of Om. Om. This is A or A, this one. Waking and waking word. The dream is Oo. Dreamer and dream word. And deep sleep is Ma. Om has three sounds. A, Oo, Ma. Om. Don't pronounce it as Om. The correct pronunciation is Om. So sometimes little knowledge is dangerous. As long as you knew it was Om, you were pronouncing it correctly. Now that you've learned, there are three sounds in it. You start pronouncing it Om. I went to a retreat and learned Om is actually Om. No. But in the rules of Sanskrit grammar, when you have and U together, it becomes Om. So the correct pronunciation is Om. So it's just a way of, and the meaning of Om, to understand this, is the first sound refers to the physical level, the gross level, where you are this person and this is the world that you're experiencing. That's A. And then U is the subtle level, where you are the dreamer and the dream world. And when you finish the sound, is you are the deep sleeper and the deep sleep state. Ma. Gross, subtle, causal. And the most important thing, beyond these three sounds, is the silence. Om. The silence indicates the witness of these three. The fourth. First, A. What is A? Waker and waking word, the gross state. Second, U. The dreamer and the dreaming word, the subtle state. Third, the deep sleeper and the deep sleep potential state, the causal state. And the silence which follows Ma, that represents the witness consciousness. And remember, it's not a silence which comes at the end of all these. It's a silence which underlies all of these. From that silence arises the sitting in the court was different from the emperor who was defeated and rolling in the ground in despair. That emperor had one set of problems, this emperor has a different set of strengths and weaknesses. It's different. And yet underlying all of that was the one emperor who experienced both. Similarly, you are this one, the so-called fourth, the Atman, which is not limited by waking, dreaming, deep sleep. Not limited, limitless, infinite. Ananta, without limit. This is what is meant by Satchit Sukham. Existence, consciousness. We'll come to the questions soon. Don't forget the questions. Should we take the questions now? I think it's time for the questions. Let me just complete. So, questions is, how are we doing for time? Okay, we can have a 10-15 minute question answer. So this is called the...
So questions can be taken in from this mic, if you can come here and ask.
Yeah, just for the sake of completion, Turiyam. So the word Turiyam means the fourth. Now we understand why it's called the fourth. Paramahamsa Gatim. Paramahamsa Sannyasi is his highest order of non-Vedantic monks. But basically any spiritual seeker who follows this path, this Gatim means our Gatim. The word Gati means to realize. The word Upanishad has three meanings. The Gati, Visharana, three meanings of Sadev Dhatu, which Shankaracharya talks about. One meaning is the weakening of the bonds of samsara. The other meaning is Gamana, that means to attain Brahman. The Gati also means to realize Brahman, that you are Brahman. Yeah. So we have done the first three lines actually. There's a couple of points I would like to make in the last line, which I'll keep for the next session. But first, let's have a few questions. Tell us your name and ask the question.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello? Okay. Pranams. My name is Abhi. So, based on what we looked at, you and I are Turiyam, but you and I are also different. We are reflected Turiyam in a specific Stula Sharira, Sukshma Sharira, Kamana Sharira.
Yes.
Where, pivoting the conversation a little bit, given that understanding, what is Ramakrishna's Kali? What is Chaitanya's Krishna? Are they a reflection of Turiya in their own unique shariras here? Are they the same? Are they different?
Yes. So that brings me to the question. The question is asking is what is God in this scheme? Where is God? What is God here? All right. What is the Advaita Vedantic conception of God? That's one thing that I talked about with my visitor. So some little bit of negative Sanskrit terms might be quoted in here, but let me make it clear. Now remember, when we look at waker and waking word, dreamer and dreaming word, deep sleeper and deep sleep state, notice it's all individual. You are separate. But we don't live in an individual world. We live in a world where we are parts of a cosmos. What's the reality of your world? You're not there by yourself, I'm not there by myself. You are part of this entire cosmos. So there is one other side of this analysis, which I have left out. It goes like this. This waker is not only an individual waker, but there is also a cosmic waker. There is also a cosmic dreamer and a cosmic deep sleeper. Or let's put it in these terms. God has these three components, three stages, just like we have. You are this consciousness plus a causal state in deep sleep. Then you are this consciousness plus a causal state plus a mind in between. Then in this waking state, you are this consciousness, this Turiam, plus a causal state, plus a subtle body, plus a subtle state, and a gross state with this physical body. Now suppose you put all physical bodies together, the entire physical world together. And if there is consciousness identifies with all this entire universe. There is a term for that, it's called Virat. Virat. Now, suppose there's a consciousness which identifies with all minds together, all of our minds all together, like a universe might web of minds, like whatever web of computer. Suppose all minds are linked, Vedanta thinking they are linked together. There is a cosmic mind. So consciousness identifies with this enormous mind. That consciousness would be called Hiranyagarbha. And the seed state, potential state, consciousness is associated with the potential state of the entire universe. That would be called Ishvara. Ishvara, Hiranyagarbha, Virat. So this is the answer to the question, what is God in all of this? We started out with who am I? But another associated question would be, where is God in all of this? So in this, God is, this is your consciousness. When it is associated with one deep sleeper, this is one, is called Prajna in Sanskrit, the individual deep sleeper. You or I in our deep sleeper. Same kind of consciousness associated with Maya, the causal state of the entire universe, not one deep sleeper, but the causal state of the entire universe, is called Ishvara, God, Kali, Vishnu, Narayana, Shiva, our Father in heaven, Allah. That is Ishvara. What we call our deep sleep state, from Ishvara's perspective, is power, Shakti, Maya. Now, not only this is Maya, but then Maya projects itself as the subtle body, the Sukshma Sharira of all beings, this cosmic mind, this entire cosmic mind. And that same yoga consciousness with Maya and with the cosmic mind, the same yoga consciousness, now comes to be called Hiranyagarbha. It is like your dream state, but a cosmic state. Then the same yoga consciousness, limited by Maya and cosmic mind and cosmic body. What's the cosmic body? The entire universe is called Virat. Virat. Another name for that is Vishwarupa. That's what Arjuna saw in the 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. 11th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, when Arjuna tells Krishna, I want to see your cosmic form. I believe it. You are saying that you are an avatar. Your question was, so what is Krishna and Jesus or Ramakrishna? Avatar. We believe that you are an avatar. But now, I want to see your cosmic form. And Krishna says, all right, you ask for it. And he shows it. And how he shows it. The 11th chapter is awesome poetry. And also scary. Right now, there is a movie called Oppenheimer. They show that Robert Oppenheimer, he chanted the verse from the 11th chapter, and he saw the first explosion of that chapter, first atomic bomb explosion. I am not trying to describe the words. So on. So what did Arjuna see there? He saw the cosmic form of God. How is it different from what we are seeing? We are seeing the cosmos in slices. We are not seeing the entirety of the portal, let alone the entirety of the world, the galaxy, or the universe. We think this is true right now. Then we see something like a little later. We journey through space and time, seeing little bits and pieces of the universe. But suppose you were able to see the entire universe, all kinds of space, in one being, not only little fragments. How awesome would that be? It would be very scary. Why was Arjuna so scared? I look at it as like a public speaker, not speaking public speaker, there is this stage fright. When all people looking at you, an anthropologist said that the reason why we get scared is because in the animal world, staring is a sign of aggression. Right? So somebody stare at a dog, for example. The dog will get either scared or will growl at you. So similarly, if you have 10 people, 100 people, all staring at you, so the reaction, you get scared. Not that they will attack you, but you feel scared. It's an automatic reaction of an animal brain. But if you have the biggest audience I have spoken to was 14,000 people at Vellore. But imagine, that's also nothing compared to what Arjuna just saw. Imagine all 7 billion people. And all billions of living beings, all kinds of animals, all together to one cosmic being, and then it becomes one being. And then it turns and looks at you. Even now, so that's what Arjuna saw. Anyway, that's an answer to your question. What is Kali, Vishnu, Shiva? It's Ishvara. And just as we have these 3 levels, a causal level, a subtle level, and a physical level, God also, cosmos also has a causal level, Ishvara or God, subtle level, Hiranyaka or cosmic mind, and physical level, Virat or past.
Next.
Thank you, Swamiji. Yeah. My limited mind is hard to understand the word bliss, unlimited existence awareness. But that's a comment. And but my question is, we talked about Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti, and Turiya. Many times I have been told, like, last minutes of your life, you have to remember God. And the whole life, this existence that we have, is to prepare for that last moment that you are going to think about God at the last time. So, couple questions here. One is, how do we really even know that these are our last moments? One. Secondly is, if we are in any kind of coma or different kind of situation that we are not, will we be able to, I don't know what state we will be in at that time. Whether that will be Turiya or what.
To remember God in the last minutes of our life. Gita, Sri Krishna says that whatever you think of at the point of departure from this body, that will determine your future births. All that's second rate, second best. If this doesn't work for you, then there's an output to all of that. Remember, notice, look at the phrasing of your question. In the last minutes of our life. Whose life? Last minutes of what? The last minutes of this particular body. And our entire effort is here to show you that they are not the body. Last minutes of the body. As long as we are totally identified with the body, then it means that none of this is penetrating at all. If this is not working for you, you want second best. Then you are back into that, the believing kind of religion I told you. That also works. The believing kind of religion, I said 3 kinds of religion. Religion based on faith or belief. I don't understand all this stuff, I don't get anything. It's God and spirituality and Atman, Brahman, these are not real to me. But I believe. Alright, it will work. That's one kind of, that's a faith-based approach. Then the second one is, not I believe, I have to experience for myself. As Vivekananda said, if there is God, I should be able to see God. That experience means what kind of experience? The experience of mystical experiences in samadhi. That's another kind of spirituality. That also works. But this is entirely different from those two approaches. This doesn't depend on believing on anything. In fact, you must not believe. You must actually see for yourself, understand for yourself what's going on here. It also doesn't depend on extraordinary visions of this or that. It's in one sense a very prosaic and very simple quotidian kind of spirituality. It depends only on what we have right here, right now. Notice that there are 2 questions you asked. Last minutes of our life, last minutes of body. First minutes, last minutes of the body, what difference does it make to you, the Atman of the 4? Nothing. No difference. Second part of the question you asked. Suppose they may be a coma, how will we even be aware? Coma is for what? For mind. Why coma? Every day we go into deep sleep. This is like a coma state, right? And Vedanta says, you are the same Atman. It makes no difference to you. I am here looking at you with open eyes. I am here. I close my eyes and I am able to see you. I don't see anything, but I am here. That I was just, it was a common to the seeing you, same I. Exact same, unchanged I also is seeing nothing. I am not affected by seeing and not seeing. But the seeing, notice this, the seeing and the not seeing depend upon me. If I were not there would be no seeing or no not seeing. Does that make sense? Seeing is an experience, is it not? For whom? For me, the consciousness. Not seeing is an experience. For whom? For me, the consciousness. It's as simple as that. Waking and waking word is an experience. For whom? For you, that consciousness. Dreaming and dreaming word, dreamer and dreaming word is an experience. For whom? For you. And deep sleep, coma, death is an experience. For whom? The non-sleeping. One will never sleep. That one absolutely unaffected your consciousness, which you are. Why did last release of the body? Let this entire world end. War, global warming, asteroid hits, whatever, supernova, let this entire world, why this entire world? Let this entire universe end. It is not like lost one hair from my body. It is nothing for you. This is your consciousness. It's an appearance in you. But the opposite is not true. The entirety of this world experience, universe experience depends on you. As long as we are body bound, mind bound, we are like a tiny part of this vast waking universe. But when you realize what you realize this entire waking, dreaming, deep sleep, they're not even tiny parts of you. They are appearances. Their reality depends on you. It's exactly like open eyes, I see this word. Closed eyes, I do not see the word. But I am still unaffected. The other way around, seeing this word and not seeing the word, do they not both depend upon the meaning of consciousness? Waking, dreaming, deep sleep, life and death, they all depend upon you, the consciousness. You are completely unaffected by that. The day and night we have here, like life and death. In this world where we live, the day and the night, they depend upon the sun. Because of the sun, we have day. Because of the sun, we have night. And it makes so much difference to us. But in the sun, is there any day and night? No. But the entire day and night depends on the sun. Okay. So, the Advaita answer. Now remember, these things have to be handled carefully. Oh, I learned from the Swami, you don't have to remember God at the point of death. No, I never mentioned that. If you remember the Lord at the point of the physical death, so much the better for you. It's a wonderful thing. This is something even deeper and higher, more advanced. See, what's your name? Do you have to continuously remind yourself, I'm Chandrika. At the point of falling asleep, I must remember Chandrika, otherwise what will happen? No, you are completely comfortable with it. You don't have to keep on reminding yourself. Similarly, once this shift takes place, what is the shift we're talking about? Shift from waker to the waking consciousness. What is the take place? If we add the easier to the Chandrika, you'll be effortless in that. You are. Alright, let's take one more question. We'll wrap up.
One online question. Can I ask that?
Alright, take this question, take the online questions. Others will take questions in the second session or the extended third session question. Please tell us your name and ask the question.
I feel like
Just speak into the microphone.
the Advaita philosophy, you talked about the example of a rope and a snake. You're looking at something and you're mistaking it to be a snake, but then you instantly realize it's not a snake, it's a rope.
Yes.
It seems like an instant realization.
Right.
So when you explained all this, I mean, intellectually, I understand in terms of, yeah, I'm the waker, of course I'm the dreamer, perhaps I'm also in the deep sleep. Yes, there's consciousness. But how do I take that leap of faith that I am everybody?
Yes.
It just
Doesn't compute.
match.
Yeah.
And what does it have to be that I see the rope instead of the snake? What needs to
Right.
happen?
What needs to happen? Right. So the question is good. When you make the jump from the snake appearance to the rope reality, this is instant of correction. Oh, it's a rope. It isn't a snake, and further, it was never a snake. Just look like that. So what needs to happen to jump from the waker to the witness consciousness of the fourth? From the first, second, and third to the fourth jump. The jump is this: that there is a jump, and there is a moment of sudden dropping of the veils and realization that oh, so this is it. And also, how did I never see it earlier? Vivekananda called it the open secret. It is always there. It's there right now. It's staring at us in our face. Rather more than staring at the face, behind our face. Staring out through our face and eyes to the entire world. It's continuously, blazingly present and obvious. But you are right. There is a moment of jump. In Vedanta, it is called Brahmakara Vritti. The moment of enlightenment. That moment of that intuitive realization. I am this, which all of this actually will fall into place suddenly. How do we make this happen? Shravana, Manana, and Nidhyasa. You need to keep listening to this. The beauty of Advaita Vedanta is all these texts, including these very simple texts, these 3 verses, and other texts of Shankaracharya, Atma Bodha, Viveka Chudamani, many others of post-Shankara masters, all the texts down to our day. Or Vivekananda's Song of Sannyasi and so on. All these texts, Vivekananda's lectures, they are like Upanishads. So, if you keep listening to them, they all have the same message. If you go through Drigdrishya Viveka, if you go through Panchakosha Viveka, and if you go through this Mandukya Savastatra, you'll know they're all talking about the same thing. Just the same thing. They're not talking about many things. Just the approach is different in each one. This is one approach. So keep listening to it, keep asking these questions to teachers, to yourself, to the books. The books will give you the answers. Most of the questions we have, they have been asked already. They are in the books. And one day they fall into place. By the grace of, I think, great Sri Thakur, may that happen to us in this very life itself, let's hope. Questions from the online audience.
How does Avatara help us achieve the state of Turiya?
Yes. Well, Avatara, what the Avatara does is re-establish and rejuvenate religion. See, notice, why are you all here right now? Why do we have these wonderful translations with the Swamis centered here? Why did this knowledge travel from the caves and forests of India, which is not even well known across India? Why is it now here in Portland and America? Why are we sitting and listening? All because of he's responsible. All it traces back to him. He set into motion a machinery in this day and age, embodied in Vivekananda, coming across the seas, this bridge between India and the West. Vivekananda said that Vedanta which was limited to a few scholars and monks that I will scatter all over the world. The Vedanta which was in the forest I shall bring you and broadcast in the cities. Literally what it is. So that's one way in which the Avatar helps us. By rejuvenating religion. It was all there. These texts were hundreds of years, thousands of years before Sri Ramakrishna. Upanishads existed thousands of years before Krishna ever spoke. Bhagavad Gita, thousands of years before that. A good deal of Bhagavad Gita, some parts are direct quotations from the scriptures, from the Upanishads. So this knowledge is there, but it becomes lost, becomes covered over, mass of superstition, mass of, sometimes the details become more important than the essentials, sometimes superstitions come and take over, sometimes ritual and meaningless organization, ritual, politics, the minutiae of religion, the external, they're all parts of religion, but they're not the core. The external part becomes more important than the core. then you need a great power to come and excavate and rejuvenate that core and present it before us. And we have and then another thing that Avatar does, through his life, he demonstrates that this is real. It's not some ancient stuff, outdated stuff in some obscure text. Maybe somebody realized these things. In many people, religious people believe that what the Buddha had, what Jesus had, is at that time is no longer available. It's not possible. We just in our day and age just believe and depend on them. No, the Avatar shows it's possible. Not only possible, it's real, and we must realize it in our lives. It's entirely possible. Third, the Avatar puts into, it brings to this world the power. See, we are weak, there's no doubt about it. As we are weak. There's very little that we can achieve in this world, and enlightenment, God realization is a tall order. However, in the wake of an avatar comes an extraordinary power. What is very difficult becomes temporary, for a time being, much easier to access. So we are born, recorded of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna would tell all those people who come to him. In long after Sri Ramakrishna had passed, would talk about Sri Ramakrishna and say, you are fortunate, you are living in this age, very close to the advent of the avatar. So the power is alive, working, and will be there for centuries to come. And eventually fade away until the next avatar comes. So you can take advantage of it. What would have been very difficult for us otherwise is eminently practical for us now. So these are the different ways in which avatar helps. Let's break for tea. We are running 15 minutes, 20 minutes behind my hand schedule.
So tea is served outside, and please drink outside itself. Do not bring the cups in. There is a way to dispose them outside, and then please come back to your seats. Fifteen minutes. Yeah.
Please, hello, attention please, keep silence please. Attention please, I'll request not to socialize, please keep silence. Please proceed for the tea, and please avoid socializing.